Halma, thank you for joining me in my channel for this video. As you can see, today we're going to be looking at sentence building or sentence construction in the Northern Paiute language. Specifically, what I'm going to do is start with one three-word sentence. As you see on the right side, the very top, this three-word sentence, and I'm going to show you how you can expand upon it, how you can build upon it to create a longer sentence, describing more details about what's going on in that sentence. And I have 19 sentences altogether, so those are just some preview of them. But as a reminder and a review for some of you, I wanted to share this once again, that the sentence structure in the Northern Paiute language is subject, object, verb. In other words, the subject comes first, followed by the object, and lastly the verb. For example, ne tebi puni. Ne tebi puni means I see a rock. Okay, that is the sentence we're going to be focused on throughout this video. But the subject of the sentence, which I have underlined here, is ne. That means I. The subject, as a reminder, is the one doing a particular action in a sentence. It is the doer of the action. Okay, the verb way at the end is whatever that action is that is being done. So I see. I see. I am seeing something. That's the verb. Puni. See. What do you see? Well, the answer to what you see is the object, which in this case is tebi, the rock. So I, a rock, see, is how you would say that in the Paiute language. The rock or the object comes before the verb, unlike English where it comes afterwards. I see a rock. So that's the basic structure, again, as a reminder, and we're going to be building upon this sentence. Let's get started. Ne tebi puni. Ne, I, a rock, see. So, ne ka tebi puni. Ne ka tebi puni. That ka, as you can see there, again, as a reminder for many of you, identifies the object of the verb. So this ka, this article, always points you or comes before the object of the verb. So is really helpful. You can't be confused. That will never come in front of the sentence or in front of the subject of the sentence. So you always know that if that verb is in front of a word, it's going to be the object. Okay. For example, what if I say this? Ka tebi ne puni. Ka tebi ne puni. Well, hey, ka tebi comes in front of the sentence. Does that mean it's a subject? No. It is still the object. The reason why it's put in front of the subject is just to provide a bit more emphasis or to emphasize it. For example, if someone asks you, what do you see? Well, you can answer it like this. Ka tebi ne puni. It's just like saying, well, it's a rock. A rock is what I see. Ka tebi ne puni. You can also put the subject way at the end of the verb. Ka tebi puni ne. Ka tebi puni ne. That could be emphasizing the subject, like I see a rock. It is I who sees a rock. Something like that. So every time you can move something like the subject or the object around it in different ways, it's usually to provide some sort of emphasis or to introduce new information that may be being requested or asked about. Okay. But you don't put the object after the verb. That's weird. Okay, what if you want to say where you see a rock? Well, this is one way to say so. Ne ka tebi puni kaiba magu. Kaiba magu means on a mountain. So this verb sentence is I see a rock on a mountain. Ne ka tebi puni kaiba magu. Even that last constituent can be placed in front of the sentence. Kaiba magu ne ka tebi puni. Kaiba magu ne ka tebi puni. It's on a mountain that I see a rock. Next, ne tebi hupino puni. Ne tebi hupino puni. That means I see a rock and a stick. That word hupi is a word for stick, and the suffix no that you see after it means and, or it can mean with. I see a rock and a stick, or I see a rock with a stick. Ne tebi hupino puni. But what if you don't see them at the same time. What if you see a rock first and then afterwards you see a stick? Well, this last sentence is one way you can say that. Nö tebi punishi hupi puni. That means I saw a rock and then I saw a stick. So that very first, the third word, punishi, that se suffix indicates sequential action. So it means that something occurred first in a sequence of actions, and then another verb, another action took place in that sequence. So first in the sequence is nö tebi punishi. That's first. I saw a rock. Hupi puni. And then I saw a stick. So that verb, or that suffix si, implies past tense. It implies that something happened in the past. So that's why you would translate it saw. I saw a rock. And then hupi puni. And then I saw a stick. And notice that last puni, it doesn't have any other suffix to indicate that specifically that it's a past tense versus a present tense or whatever. But it doesn't need it. In Paiute, you don't need to add some sort of past tense suffix. It's the context which is used to determine whether it's present or past. In this case, it's assumed because there is first something that took place in a sequence of action, and then something else took place. So it's assumed that it was past. So both of these can be translated as a past tense. I saw a rock, and then I saw a stick. Let's continue, building upon this same sentence. Nö tebi puni. I see a rock. Nö uno tebi puni. Uno means with you, or and you. Is you, singular. No, and, or with. So that means I and you saw or see a rock, or I with you see a rock. Now, that sounds kind of silly. You could just simply say, da tebi puni. Da means you and I. Da is the dual pronoun, which means you and I. So you can translate it, we see a rock. Da tebi puni. We. But again, that we doesn't mean a bunch of people. It just means you and I. Okay? Da tebi puni. You and I, we see a rock. Now, what if you want to say what color the rock was that you saw? Well, here's one example. Ne katu tebi puni. Ne katu tebi puni. Tu is how you would say black. Tu tebi, black rock. Okay? And that ka, I put it in parentheses because, again, it's optional. You don't necessarily need to say it. It'll still make sense if you say ne tu tebi puni, means I see a black rock, or ne ka tu tebi puni. Same thing. I see the black rock. What if you saw two black rocks? Here's one way to say that. Ne wahu tu tebi puni. You can also include the ka in front of there. You can say ne ka wahu tu tebi puni, but again, it's optional, so I keep it in out here. Wahu, two. That means two, the number two. Wahu tu tebi, two black rocks. Now, some of you may be asking, I thought the word for two was wahatyu. Wahatyu. Well, wahatyu is the subject form. So you use that form of the word when you're referring to the subject of the sentence. But here, we're not referring to the subject, are we? This number two is referring to the object. Two black rocks. So therefore, the form of it is wahu. Okay, wahu is the object form. I see two black rocks. This next sentence, ne babau tu tebi puni. Babau tu tebi means big black rock. Ne babau tu tebi puni. I see a big black rock. Again, some of you may be wondering, babatyu. I thought babatyu was the word. Well, that's the subject form. Babau. Or in some dialects, babahu. Ne babahu tu tebi puni. I see a big black rock. Babahu or babau That's the object form. It's when it's referring to the object. Now you can also just say baba, baba. That also just simply means big. You can also use that simple form of the word, baba. Now, if you see two big black rocks, well, here's one way you can say that. Wahu babau tutubi puni. I see two big black rocks. Wahu babau tutubi. Or wahu baba tutubi puni. Two big black rocks. Let's continue building upon this sentence. I see a rock. What if you don't yet see two black rocks, but you want to? Well, here's how you can say, I want to see two black rocks. Wahu tutubi supuni. That last word, supuni, okay, that prefix, su, indicates mental desires, like you want something mentally. Wahu tutubi supuni means I want to see two black rocks. Well, if you want to, hopefully you will. And here's how you can say you will see two black rocks. Wahu tutubi puniku. Wahu tutubi puniku. Puniku, that suffix at the end, ku, refers to something that will happen. Okay, I will see. Wahu tutubi puniku. I will see two black rocks. Well, what if yesterday you saw two black rocks? Here's how you can say that. Idzi wahu tutubi puni. Or idzi wahu tutubi puniu. Okay, so idzi means yesterday. Now, again, kind of as I was referring to previously in a different sentence, the word puni by itself can mean presently see, or it can mean past saw. The context is what determines whether to translate it as a present or the past. So you can just say puni by itself. Yesterday I saw puni. But as I have in parentheses here, that double O, u, that suffix u can be used to refer to something that took place in the past. At one time, sometime in the past. So you can also include that in there. You can say puniu to mean that you saw it yesterday. Either way is fine. Either way is acceptable. If you want to keep it on there, puniu, or just say puni. Either way, because you have that word sentence in there, or that word yesterday in that sentence, then you know it's going to be in the past. So you can include it or you can leave it off. Either way is fine. This next sentence says, O nosu wahu tutubi punip. So, o nosu is a word that can refer to something that took place long ago. So it means long ago I saw two black rocks. So that verb, punip, with the suffix p, punip, that suffix p is a word that can be used to something that took place long ago, okay, in the distant past. It can mean long ago I saw two black rocks, or long ago I had seen two black rocks. Both of those are valid translations. Finally, this is the last sentence, okay? It says, Wahu tutubi utsapunikukwa. Wahu tutubi utsapunikukwa. That means I will show you two black rocks. That final verb there, tsapunikukwa. Tsapunikukwa. There's a lot going on there. Let's break it down. That prefix, ta, can indicate causal. So, tsapuni, puni, again, means to see. So, tsapuni is like saying you're causing someone to see, or you cause to see, which basically comes down to meaning show. Show. I'm going to show. Who am I going to show? Well, that's what that you in front of the verb is. Tsapunikukwa. Means you. So show you. Now let's look again in that verb. Tsapunikukwa. That double G-U. Is a more clear. It can also be causal, but it also indicates doing something for someone else. So again, I'm showing someone else something. In this case, I'm showing you. And again, that final KWU prefix, ku, means something that is going to happen in, excuse me, I just ate, so I'm hiccuping. Something I'm going to do in the future. So I will show you 2 black rocks. I will show you 2 black rocks. That is all. I hope that was helpful. Again, just a review and an overview of how you can take a 3-word sentence, a simple sentence, and build upon it. Expand upon it by adding extra details such as what color something was, or what size something was, or how many of something, or where you saw something, or what time you saw it. Was it presently seen, or was it in the past, or was it in the future, etc. These are different ways you can do that. Of course, this is just an overview because there's so many more examples that can be given. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Until next time, have a good day. See you later.